I mean, for us, it feels like a lifetime ago, but obviously with the tour and everything else, this is just what you do, day in, day out.
Yeah, it goes really, really well. It seems yesterday we finished with Debbie, and now in 1 month we start again. Everything from the beginning again.
When you first met Debbie, just, you know, obviously when you were rehearsing going in before the show starting, at what point did you think, hang on, I've got a really, really good dancer here?
Well, it was the first time we did our rehearsals together because, you know, since she was the oldest celebrity in the show. And I was like, OK, it's a new thing for me because I used to have, you know, young ladies on the show. And after the first day in rehearsals, she just do the split and stuff like that. And I was like, OK.
Can you really push the boundaries? Can you go much further than you would with other people?
Well, I think it's depend the commitment the celebrity give to the show. You know, if they really want to give 100% and they just enjoy the time, it's easier for us to teach them how to dance. It's not...
if I did it, I would give 120%, but there's no way I would look like that, you know.
Well, you never say never. You never say never. It's depending if you have a good teacher.
No, I've seen it done.
All right.
Well, we got a little surprise for you today.
Do you?
It's someone you know rather well.
You didn't say anything last night. Wow, okay.
Poetry in motion,
I know.
that
I
was.
want to dance like that. It's so
You know,
amazing.
when I see the two of you dance, in my head, that's how I think it's going to look. You're a delight, a delight.
I've watched every single episode of Strictly ever, as I think we all have. You are, without doubt, my absolute favourite. What you and Alicia Dixon are kind of... You surprised... I mean, I know that you know, did ballet when you were 16, but ballroom, those steps, it's completely different. You know, I mean, all credit to you. Absolutely fantastic.
Well done. I had a great teacher.
And you were robbed, by the way, you shouldn't have won.
Don't say that.
No, I had a really good teacher, and that really is the truth. But I will say that's true, is that, you know, I hadn't danced for over 30 years. It's really hard, but, you know, he just
It's
was
a completely
patient.
different kind of style.
Yeah.
It's a ballroom ballet. It's completely different than ballroom Latin. We have technique. We have a lot of technique. Yes, she had experience, but it's a completely different style. You have to do something completely different.
You've got such a lovely bond, though, even after the show. You've continued to be really good friends and carry on dancing together. Would it be difficult when he gets a new partner this year?
I'm going to be so jealous.
And I can't wait for this.
From week one, he said to me, wait till next year and I've got a new partner. You're going to be so jealous. And I kept saying, no, I'm not a jealous person, Giovanni. But now
Do you think you'll be able to watch?
Oh, yes.
Unbearable.
No, because, you know, because we have such a close friendship. I just want him to do well. So I hope he gets a great partner, because I really want him to win.
And it, excuse me. It came at a really important time for you, didn't it, Strictly? Because obviously your husband Paul had died recently. You were feeling quite lonely. I remember you came on and talked to us about that. And suddenly to be transported into this world of sequins and gorgeous young men, was it a real lifesaver for you?
Yeah, it was. It gave me a completely different focus. I've really found that, you know, when you're suddenly left on your own, you've got to change your life, and that transition isn't that easy. And so it kind of really helped me find who I was as a person. And the fact that we had such fun. We laughed every minute of every day, even though we were working hard. He's sometimes got his whip out, girl. And, you know, it was really hard some days, because when you're learning the waltzes, you know, everybody thinks the Latin ones are the sexy dances and you wiggle your hips, and it is a bit more than that. But the waltzes, you know, every time Giovanni kept saying, Debbie, you've got to hug my right thigh with your thighs. It was tough, girls. It was tough.
Giovanni, obviously, every year they talk about the whole Strictly curse and all this sort of thing.
They do.
And I can understand it when you're saying things like, you know, right now you've got to hug my right thigh, and if you maybe aren't necessarily feeling particularly loved, that you think, oh, all right then, there's this handsome man telling me to do this. I can see that logistically it may happen, but you don't necessarily believe in
But
that.
this is dancing, you know, this is just what dancing does. And Strictly curse, I don't think it's a Strictly thing. It's just something that can happen if you spend so much time with the same person that you fancy in the room. This is life, you know. If I, in this room, fancy somebody and spend 10 hours a day with the same person, it can happen. But
It's
sometimes...
amazing when you said that, fancy somebody.
And I'm going to say again, fancy somebody.